after passing it in Parliament, is when we experienced the anger of our people saying, no, we cannot allow it to go ahead. The president, in his wisdom, decided not to sign it, and the law gives him the powers to return it back to Parliament. And he also went ahead and said, I would like to engage everyone concerned so that they can put their input at that stage. So I think it is going towards the right direction. Now, what we need to do is to appeal to ourselves as Kenyans that this is the only country we have. And now that the issue that led into this misunderstanding has been dropped, I think we as a country should come now a round table and begin to build the future we want. And listen to our younger people also. Yes.
Maybe looking at, as per the MP, now you don't have, many MPs don't have ground because they have disconnect with the citizens. What is the way forward now, because they seem to be the people's enemies?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. The challenge that has come is a political experience. In politics, there is up and down. When crisis comes, it doesn't invalidate people. It doesn't make people invalidated. For now, there is a challenge, and the challenge that can be handled. It is only a perception being created to demonize the issue of finance bill. It has never been an easy thing, because it is about sharing of resources, and because you share resources, it has always been, even during Kanu time. You remember the day when Mutembei was a minister of finance. He also experienced the same thing, but the times were different. Now we are more freer. We are able to express ourselves. The Constitution accommodates us even more. Those days, the law was different and the environment was different. So I would wish to say that even notwithstanding how things have gone, it is not too late for anyone to do the right thing. Yeah.
Maybe finally on that part, what is the role of tunaona kanisa ilikuwa imeachilia, because now we are seeing that the churches were silent. You as the bishop, what is the role of church and state? Because we have seen that politicians have hijacked the churches.
I don't think so. That is a perception being created. You cannot separate individuals from their faith. Yani, Christian leaders to go to church, you can't deny them, because Muslims who are believers go to their mosques. Let us separate two things. Let me give us a short example. You know, when Kenya was declared a one-party state, this country never had an alternative voice to speak on behalf of the people. The church stepped in. We give credit to people like Henry Okulo, Manasseh Korea, these other people who came ahead, Njoya and so on. They stood with the people to create a space for an alternative voice. It led into what you understood as the second liberation. Now, a vibrant opposition has been born. We don't need the church to play that role. We need the opposition to play it, and they are doing it very well. Raila, for example, has done a very commendable job in terms of opposition. So what the church should play now is a neutral arbiter to become the final, what do you call, the final line of defense. And therefore, that is what the church should do. Now, when you talk, you blame the church welcoming politicians, that is just political issues. Those are just political games. Those on this side blames the others on the other side. Those on this side blame the others, and they don't want. And you find sometimes it can bring temptation where bishops begin to speak on behalf of politicians, but the church still remains. I've listened to Elizabeth on Sunday. He spoke before the president. He was not respected of any person. I listened to the Catholic Church, gave their statement. I've listened to evangelicals. They have given their statement, but they cannot play the role of opposition. The opposition must play their role, and so that there will be government and the opposition. Notwithstanding anything else, That is how it should be. So that is just an excuse created by some people lazy in arguing, and they don't know that now we have a vibrant democracy in Kenya and opposition that works. So those who I've had those arguments, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. Well, my experience that I had with them is that they, although in the midst of expression of anger, they expressed human face. Because when they came in, they said, Mzee, we know you where you voted, and we know you are so and so, we know you, but we know you as a good man. But we want, so they said the question of where you voted and so on is not an issue. The question is you. Now that one tells is a human being, and they said we want to help you out because what might happen here may not be good for you. So then they walked us out with an honorable colleague called Rose Museu, and we came out. That is why they escorted us out. I saw there our children, and the anger that came in, I only pray that it is not hijacked by anything else, but it is genuine. They need to be listened to, and that's why the president took a step and listened to them and stepped down on that issue, on the issue of the financial field. Yeah.
Me, on the fateful day, we were on our business in Parliament. The subject matter was the finance bill and the processes that follows. So we did pass the bill, and then we took a bit of time to finish the other part of the bill, appropriation and so on, which was very important because after having the bill, you have to have a mode of allocation also be approved by law. We were inside the chamber, and then all of a sudden our members from the other side of the aisle came out, and as they came out, some of us still continued to wait. Then within a twinkle of an eye, we hear that our young men were already coming through, and everybody now were looking for an escape route. Unfortunately, where there is what we call an evacuation route out, it's not friendly to the users of wheelchair, and it was getting worse. And then we chose with my sister, Honorable Rose Museu, who is working on crutches. We made a choice to face the young men. We stayed in what we call the private members' lounge. Thankfully, they came and they found us there, and immediately they knew who I am, and they also knew where I voted for. But they looked at me and they said, we know you are a good man, and we want to request that you allow us escort you out of the building, because what might happen any time from now may not be good for you, both of you. But we are not bad people. We are only agitating for what we think and we believe it is our right. And they walked us out, and that is it. They asked me where I want to go, whether I needed a Uber or something like that. I said, no, just lead me to that corner, because I knew it wasn't safe outside. So they walked me to a safe place. And I wish to take this opportunity that on that fateful day, a lot happened, and unfortunately lives were lost. I wish to condole with all the families that lost their loved ones. In any disturbance, in any altercations, consequences sometimes got to come, and regrettably we lost the lives of our people. We are saying pole kwao. Secondly, I want to take this opportunity to thank these young men who saved my life and that of Rose Museu. When everybody was running for their lives, and and they were rightly so, because they could not save me and we could not save them. I want to thank these young men and appreciate that even in the moment of anger, a moment of stress, they still had humanity in them to separate issues from humanity, and I'm very, very thankful. I wish also to thank the President for heeding to the call by Kenyans led by these young men and willing to step down his stand and that of Parliament. He persuaded members of Parliament that we agree with the younger people and listen to them. The bill will not go anywhere. It will be, we discuss this, we can build another bill, but the nation is important and the generation of our children is very important. Let us take time and listen to them. And I wish to thank the President for having taken this bold step to have the nation greater than himself, greater than all of us, and also to value the future, that these children are our future. I wish to thank them. Finally, I want to appeal to these young people. Yes. Yep. Yes, they engaged me. They told me they knew me, who I am, and that they knew where I stand politically. And they even told me, we know you are a friend of the President, and we want to send you with one message to him, that one, we are not ending it here until the bill be dropped. That is what they told me. And actually, they emphatically said, this bill is evil. Did you see it? Have you seen it? And the other gentlemen who are with him, they said, stop asking these elders so many questions. We know him and we know his heart and we know he means well for all of us. And we went on conversing. As we went on, they began singing and they were also shouting, telling those around, I'm sure they were addressing the security personnel, and they said, we are peaceful, we want to see the Honorable to be where he is safer. And that was the conversation we had with them. They gravitated around the grievances, yes.